What is good, everybody? Welcome to the Niners Nation Instant Reaction Podcast. And oh man, I don't know that I have ever seen in my history of watching football a game end like that. I don't know that I've ever seen it. The, the Cowboys are coming back at the end of the game, and inexplicably, they run the ball with no timeouts, and they run out of time, and the game ends. I have never in my life, seen a playoff game end like that. A playoff game? That's insanity. That is Mike McCarthy just absolutely losing his mind. Neither team wanted to win this game. Neither team wanted to win it. I mean, the 49ers, first of all, I think they got screwed on that Deebo Samuel play where the replay was overturned. Nonetheless, they go to do the QB sneak. They get cute with this shift. Jimmy Garoppolo screws the snap count up, hikes it too soon before Trent Williams is set, and then they get a penalty and they have to punt it. I mean, nobody wanted to win this game. That's unbelievable. I've never seen a playoff game like that before in my life. I've never seen a playoff game end like that. Why would you run it if you're Mike McCarthy? Why would you do that? I'm stunned. I am stunned. Before we get officially rolling here, I shouldn't say officially rolling, but deep into this thing, let me remind everybody, please rate, review, and follow the Niners Nation Podcast Network. We are putting out a ton of content. We've had our greatest year ever. So please, please, please subscribe, smash the follow button on the YouTube page here. We are going to get to all of your questions and comments, but right now I'm just reacting. And by the way, for anyone that doesn't know, and they did a great job of this on the broadcast, you can't, the official has to touch the ball between plays. So the Cowboys can't just get up to the line and run another play because the official is the one that has to spot the ball. They tried to run up and run a play, but the official hadn't gotten there yet. So he has to spot the ball. Then the Cowboys can run the play. That's what happened, and they ran out of time. Super chat here from Jason. Fortune favors horrible quarterbacks. I mean, look, we're going to get into all of that. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo did every single thing he could to lose this game, but let's just enjoy right now for the 1 second. 49ers are going to Wisconsin, baby. They are going to Wisconsin. And it doesn't matter that it was ugly. And it doesn't matter that, in the second half, the 49ers offense basically did nothing. A win is a win is a win. And we are in the playoffs now. So you take it and you run because it's survive in advance time. That's all it is. And so that's where we are with the 49ers. Let's just take a deep breath. And let's just enjoy it. Go 49ers, go. We got another super chat. Bay Marin, brain farts everywhere. Yes, that is exactly what happened. I mean, first of all, just for the Cowboys in general, they had 14 penalties in this game for 89 yards. That's a Cowboys franchise record. No Cowboys team has ever had more penalties than they had today. And let me tell you, the 49ers needed every single one of them. Niners themselves had 9 penalties for 58 yards. But man, McCarthy gonna McCarthy. That's all I'll say. I've called him a potato as a head coach, and I totally believe that he is. Absolutely horrible. I love this comment from Josh Delgado. How much older is everyone after that game? Yeah, I feel about 50 years old. Whew, man. I mean, how many times have we seen this script, right? We have seen games like this from the 49ers, especially big games. And what happens? They come out and they are on fire, right? The offense is rolling. The 49ers, on that opening drive, they looked awesome right down the field. 7 plays, 75 yards. They had 4 straight plays, gained 10 plus yards. And the only reason that streak stopped was because they gained less than 10 yards to get a touchdown. The Niners offense was rolling. But what happens? The defense comes out hot. They are stuffing the Cowboys. The Cowboys don't do anything. Punt. 3 plays, minus 13 yards for the Cowboys. Punt. 5 plays, 10 yards. Punt. Defense is doing great, but the 49ers can't get in the end zone again. They scored on every one of their meaningful first half possessions, but they only got the 1 touchdown. And what have we seen? Your defense can only play great for so long before they eventually come back down to earth a little bit. And that's what happened with the 49ers defense. And this game got tighter and tighter and tighter as we've gone along in the second half. Here are the 49ers possessions in the second half: punt, touchdown, punt, interception, punt, punt. So they basically did almost nothing, save for the touchdown after the interception by K'Waun Williams and the Debo run for the touchdown. That saved them, because that's all they did in the second half of this game. I want to give massive, massive, massive credit to the 49ers defense. Massive credit. They were awesome in this game. To only give up 17 points to the highest, the offense that had the most yards in the entire league. That's incredible, especially when they lose Nick Bosa in the second quarter and they lose Fred Warner late in the game as well. Their two best defensive players go down and they still stop the Cowboys. Massive, massive job to the defense in this game, who, by the way, and I've been trying to hold off, the defense bailed out Jimmy Garoppolo in a huge way. I mean, Jimmy G did everything he could to lose this game for the 49ers. Everything he could. But I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to stay upbeat here. We won the game. 23-17, baby. We are going to Lambeau Field, and we're going to stick it in the Packers' faces when we get there. All right. Levin Black is going to join us. Unfortunately, he just told me that his daughter is a little sick right now, so he's going to be a little late. Let's get to as many of your questions and comments as I can. Again, I'm going to try and follow along what people are saying in the post game. I mean, we were bordering on an epic meltdown by the 49ers. Epic meltdown, right? That's going to go on Kyle Shanahan's coaching tombstone. But they pulled it out. And I don't know how the hell they overturned that Debo Samuel play. I mean, give me a break. They have a replay that definitively shows that Debo was 6 inches further behind than where they had originally spotted the ball. I mean, give me a break. Man. And I love this comment. Keychan watching on the Niners Nation YouTube page. Can we have the offense show up for 4 quarters? No. This is why the 49ers were a 6 seed, right? They have yet to put together 4 consistent great quarters all season long. Now, fortunately, when they're really, really good and rolling, sometimes that's just so good that the 49ers win the game. And that was the case here, basically, in this one, with a great defensive effort. But no, the 49ers have not been able to put together 4 good quarters all game long. That's something that Kyle Posey talked about on the Shanaplan on Wednesday of this week. He said the perception of the 49ers is off because they never put together 4 quarters, so people don't think they're as good as they are. Well, it turns out that's exactly what they are. It's just they're not as good as they could be if they put together 4 complete quarters. Levin Black is with us. What's up, Levin? How are you feeling after that game? Have you ever seen a playoff game end when a team has no timeouts? There's, 14 seconds left, and they run the ball with a quarterback keeper?
I don't get that call at all. Like, what was the point of the quarterback keeper? I don't understand what the point of it was. You were already in a single throw range. Like, you're at, around the 40? Dak can throw 40 yards. Like, you want to run the ball so that you can open up the playbook and get a few extra plays in there to run from the 25 instead? It was a weird call. Weird ending to that game. I got to be honest, like, my mind is still jumbled because it wasn't just the game was crazy at the end, but my life mirrored the freaking game. Because at halftime, I left work, drove home in a snowstorm. We're supposed to get a foot of snow.
Oh, geez.
I get home, watching the game. Niners are imploding. I get home. Shortly after I get home, Jimmy throws the interception. And then, playing with my kid while watching the game. It's about her bedtime. And suddenly she decides to puke for the first time in her life.
No.
Like, literally while I'm on the floor with her. Half of it's on me. She was laying down on the floor, so it was like just sitting in her mouth, and I had to like get her up quick to get it out of her mouth, and it was all over me. My wife runs her upstairs. I'm literally watching that second to last Cowboys drive where they didn't get the 4th down while giving my kid a bath. Like, watching it on my phone and getting her ready for bed.
Look at you.
It was let's just say that 4th quarter, my life was just as hectic as that 4th quarter. So I haven't been able to process anything because the game ended and I wouldn't put her to bed. And I just walked in here. So
I want to know. I want to hear what Kyle Shanahan says after this one. Like, what is the possible explanation for what the Cowboys did? And I said it. Nobody wanted to win this game. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo came up about as small in this game as you possibly could have, but the Cowboys just kept giving it back to the 49ers. And eventually, like, you can't give a team that many chances to win. And eventually the Niners finally took advantage.
I mean, let's put it this way. The Cowboys offense, with all that firepower that they have, only put up that many points when Boza was out. Willis got hurt. Warner got hurt. Like, for them to not get to 20 points is inexcusable for that offense. And I think it's a legitimate question now because there were kind of hints at it. I think with the way this game ended, I'm not sure McCarthy's still there because Kellen Moore is like ready for promotion. Jerry Jones doesn't want to lose him. I think if anybody decides they want to interview Kellen Moore for a head coaching job, Jerry Jones pulls the trigger on getting rid of McCarthy. Like, the way this game ended, all the mental mistakes the Cowboys made, all those penalties, those are normally things that a lot of times coaches get blamed for when it's consistent and it's everybody doing it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think McCarthy deserves to be fired, but I also understand Jerry Jones's position if he does it because he doesn't want to lose Kellen Moore, who he's, basically bred to be the future of the franchise as a coach.
All right. This isn't a Cowboys
I know,
podcast.
but it is a big story.
Podcast. I mean, I don't want to be negative here because the 49ers won the game, but man, I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo was bad in this game. He was bad.
Second half, he fell apart. First half, he was okay. He missed a few throws. Could have been better. Second half, he was straight up garbage. Like, terrible quarterback playing. Like, not even starter where they're playing.
The 49ers, that this game is even close, is if Jimmy Garoppolo turns the ball over. And of course, he turns the ball over. It's 2nd and 10 at the 44-yard line. The Niners are actually moving the ball. And Jimmy's rolling out, and he tries to make a play, and he misses so badly that it's intercepted. Like, dude, just throw away. Just throw the ball away. If you're not 1,000,000,000% sure that you can protect that football, you throw it away and you take your chances on 3rd and 10.
I don't think it's a throwaway situation. It's just your quarterback needs to be able to make a throw like that.
Well, and
your quarterback shouldn't completely and utterly miss a wide open receiver just because he's running. Like, that's the bottom line. The receiver was open. You need your quarterback to make plays like that.
Well, and then
your quarterback should make that throw, but you just can't be that terrible at it. Like, that's garbage.
Then Shanahan dials up the Jimmy Gimme for him to George Kittle, and Jimmy's throw is so bad that Kittle can't even catch it. And thank God it was that bad, because if Kittle had caught it, it would have been a fumble and the Cowboys would have had the ball back. But
if it was a better throw, Kittle gets the corner and probably has a first down.
I mean, he was hideous. He was hideously bad, not to mention missing a wide open Brandon Ayuk. Like, the Cowboys punter hits wide open receivers better than the 49ers. And don't think I forgot about you, Richard Hightower.
Yeah. I mean, how does that guy still have a job? Like,
he should be fired before he gets on the bus.
I'm not big on calling for people's jobs, especially coaching. Like, it takes something legitimate for me to make that call in the middle of a season, I should say. Hightower, he should have been fired a long time ago. Should have been fired going into the bye week. This special teams unit, I tweeted it, and somebody will have to find another one before I believe you and have stats to back it up, before you can tell me there has been a worse special teams unit performance season long than this current unit. Because the punting has been terrible at times, the kicking has been terrible at times, and the coverage units and return units have been horrendously bad. Like, kicking and punting overall for the season have been decent. They haven't been great. They haven't been terrible. But the kick return, the punt return, and the coverages for those two on the other side where they're covering to try to stop a return have been horrid. Like, not just bad. They have been as bad as you could possibly be. I have literally been saying, for the whole second half of the season, just don't return anything.
Yep.
Stop trying to return anything. And then that's the second time they've given up a big fake punt
and
first down in the season. Like, ridiculous.
As Merrill Klein points out, guess who gave it up? Josh freaking Norman. Like, stunner. You cannot put him out on the field. Like, that's how bad he is. He's a liability no matter where he is out there. You have to be playing the fake punt there. It was 23, what was it, 23-7 at that point, just into the fourth quarter. Like,
well, that and Dak was mad that they didn't go for the fourth down on their last drive.
Right.
And was petitioning to go for it again this time. So you got to think, well, you're really going to not go for this here, or are you just trying to fake it? Like, that should at least be a thought in your mind.
And then the other special teams issue where they rushed the punt and they hit the punter, and then luckily it ended up, I mean, it cost the Niners field position, but the Niners D had to make another stop. Like, the special teams in this game, that's what he said. The 49ers did everything they could to lose a playoff game. You are not supposed to win a playoff game when you play like the 49ers did, but this is the best part. They won. We get another chance at this.
Well, they won a game where Garoppolo played really badly.
Right.
And special teams played really badly. Like, this is a game that should have been a blowout. So it's kind of one of those things where if you look on the bright side, they played a really bad game and still won against a playoff opponent on the road.
Exactly.
So that seems to be a good omen going forward, because Jimmy's probably not going to be as bad as he was in this game, and your special teams probably won't be as bad as it was in this game. That being said, I know we'll probably talk more in depth about next week later, but boy, Warner and Bosa need to be back. I mean, you're going to go up against Aaron Rodgers without those guys? Good luck.
This comment from Nick Ellard, I put it up here for a reason. I don't agree with this. Playoff win that feels like a loss. There are no playoff wins that feel like a loss. That's not possible. Not when it's win or go home. Like, no. Because a loss, I mean, you lose and your season is over. You can't say it's a win that feels like a loss. I totally disagree with
this
that.
This is the game that will linger too, I think, because you're going to be able to, for years to come, bring up refereeing and spotting the ball to Cowboys fans and instantly get under their skin. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of these games that's going to have some legs to it, because, you know, it's almost like the Minnesota Miracle. I forget what they called it, but
Minneapolis Miracle.
Yeah, Minneapolis Miracle. You bring that up to Saints fans, they get mad. You bring up the completely bogus non-pass interference call against the Saints, they get pissed instantly. I think it's going to be one of those games, even though the ref was not in the wrong. Like,
no,
the ref has to get to the ball, and the offensive line is blocking him. And if the ref is less eager to get through their line, they run out of time anyway. So the ref did all he could. So it's not a mistake, but it's still something. Like, if I was Cowboy fans, I would be frustrated. Like, the game ends that way. Like, they're at such a high at that point, such a climax, and then it ends because of a referee thing.
Dude, that is as bad a way for your season to end. And this is a tweet from my guy, Pete D, who works at NBC. I still can't say his last name. He produces the Chris Sims podcast. Cowboys fans are mad because a 50-year-old man couldn't run a 40-yard dash and knife through your offensive line at lightning speed to make up for their quarterback's dumb decision. I don't know if it was Dak's decision or whose call it was, but to blame the official there, first of all, I mean, the Cowboys shot themselves in the foot again and again and again today. So to pin it on the ref at the end, but that was the right decision. The ref has to touch the ball between plays. Like, that's it. And so to even put the ref in a position to end your season like that is on the Cowboys. It's not on the officials. So I don't want to hear any whining from Cowboys fans.
Right. It gets back to what I was saying when I first came on. What was the point of that call? You have 40 yards to the end zone. You can make a throw 40 yards to the end zone, no problem. So running your quarterback up the gut does what for you? You want to have a couple of extra plays that are possible. You want to open up your playbook a little bit. Like, what's the point? You might as well take 2 shots. Like, that's what they should have done. Take 2 shots at the end zone. I just don't get it. Maybe they even get 3. I forget what down it was when he did that scramble, but I think wasn't it second down? So they could have done a second, third, and fourth down. With 14 seconds, you can probably get 3 shots at the end zone from the 40.
Yeah, it was 2nd and 1 with 14 seconds to go.
Right. So you could have gotten 3 shots at the end zone. Instead, you run it with the hope. Like, there's a chance Dak doesn't even gain yards. So your hope is that he gets 15 yards and you have 1 shot for 25 yards. Would you rather have 1 shot for 25 yards or have 3 shots from 40 yards?
Michael Garner watching on the Niners Nation Facebook page. We finally got blessed by the football gods. I mean, we've had some crazy luck this year, but that was, I mean, of all the ways that you could have told me that this game was going to end, if you had said the Cowboys are going to run the ball with 14 seconds left and no timeouts, I would have told you, I would have bet all the money in the world, all the money that I will ever have, that is not how this game was going to end. And yet here we are. It is amazing to me that the 49ers are moving on. The more I look at it, I mean, all the warts came out for the 49ers in this game, right? We talked about
other than the defense. The defense
that's true.
Played a hell of a game.
No pass interference penalties by the defense. Did CeeDee Lamb not have a single catch?
He had
one catch for 21 yards.
He was limping towards the end of the game, though.
Yeah.
That one catch he limped after. So I don't know if he's 100% or not.
But so you had the bad Jimmy Garoppolo. You had turnovers on offense. You had Kyle Shanahan continuing to turtle up again and again in this game when he has a chance to step on a team. I hate using this expression, but I'm going to use it because I can't think of anything better right now. To go for the throat. He never does it. He always is content. He's always happy. Let me just take a field goal. Let me just, we'll just go into the halftime with a field goal. Like, no, he did it again and again and again. And it almost cost them in this game. But thank God the Cowboys are bigger idiots. And so the 49ers move on. Like, everything that bad that could have happened for the Niners pretty much happened in this game, and they still won. That's amazing.
I was torn on when they took the field goal. Like, I could see going for it. I can see taking the field goal, going up 13-0. It makes it 2 touchdowns. I think that was big. Or was it 6? It was 6 to make it 16-7. That's what it was when he took that field goal on a 4th and 1.
Well, there was a 4th and 6 field goal that Gould made 52 yards. That made it 16-7.
Okay. There was the one that they were talking about where he didn't necessarily need to take the field goal, but
the field goal before was 4th and 1.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily against any of those. I think the points were important. But one thing that I will say, it worked out in the end, but what the hell was that QB sneak call? You don't need to get cute. You need 1 inch, and you have the best quarterback, I think, now in the league for QB sneaking.
That's on Jimmy Garoppolo. It's not on Trent Williams.
No,
dude, you have to look at your line.
Why are you motioning your left tackle? You don't need to get cute. Don't make that cute call. Don't make that false start a possibility. Just let your quarterback go up and line it, because one of the things that's key to them QB sneaking is snapping the ball right when they want it, right when they think they see the gap they want. So don't motion anybody. Like, why are you getting cute? Everybody knows what the play call is. Nobody's thinking you're going to try a power run to the right side because you motioned Trent Williams. You need 1 inch to seal the deal. You're not running the ball with your running back. Your QB sneaking it. Like, what was the point of that? In the end, grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal because the Niners won. But I was sitting there going, why the hell are you sending somebody in motion when the whole thing about being successful on the QB sneak is Jimmy timing the snap perfectly so that he can get that little bit of momentum?
You're right. But at the same time, you have to have faith that your professional quarterback is going to look at his players, especially when there's a shift like that, and wait until everybody's settled. Like, it's crazy to me that they screwed that up. Post-game quotes are coming in. Here's Kyle on Jimmy Garoppolo. Quote, I thought he played real good in the first half, and I thought he made some real good plays in the second half too. But obviously that pick you'd like to have back and that miss on 3rd down. Like, yeah, if you take away all his bad plays, sure, he played okay. I mean, God, Kyle loves to praise his guys publicly. Like Joe Staley told us this week, praises them publicly, pounds him privately, and I'm sure he's going to crush Jimmy Garoppolo for those plays. But again, like, I'm frustrated, but at the same time, like, we won the playoff game. So let's just keep on this friggin' roller coaster, man.
I got to bring something up because
oh boy,
with that ending, I kind of forgot about it, and I don't like to be critical of announcers. It's what I went to school for. I know it's much more difficult than it seems on watching it on TV. But I wanted to reach through the TV when the sideline reporter said Joey Bosa, not once, but twice, literally said or talked about Nick Bosa twice during the game, and both times called him Joey. Come on. That stuff just gets under my skin to begin with.
I know, but like, I'm not
like
really
it's understandable
right
once. Now. How the heck do you do it a second time? Because I guarantee the first time it happened, the moment she was off, her mic was cut out, the guys in the truck are telling her, "Hey, it's Nick Bosa. Make sure you say Nick Bosa next time." And then she said Joey Bosa again. And
I
I
mean,
think that's the fourth time this season I've heard an announcer refer to him as Joey Bosa. It's just annoying. It's just one of those little things that drives me nuts.
I just saw somebody, John Taylor Sr. Blah, blah, blah. They won't stop bitching. When you have actually coached or played at that level, I'll listen. Until then, you have no clue. Well, John, I'm pretty sure I have a clue that the quarterback is supposed to wait till everyone's settled to snap the ball. I don't think you need an advanced degree in football to figure that out. I don't think you need an advanced degree to figure out that when Brandon Ayuk is open by 50 goddamn yards, your quarterback should be able to hit him. I don't think I need to have played to know that. I'm sorry. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe there is some football mysticism secret that I don't understand. But I'm pretty sure when the guy's open, the professional quarterback who makes $26 million is supposed to be able to hit him. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Please, John.
I got
me.
a different take on this. If you think you have to play or coach at the level for you to listen, why are you watching? Like, we don't sit here and pretend we're
right.
players
I
or
never
coaches.
pretend
Like,
I played.
when you started watching, you knew what you were getting into. Like, whatever. I always find those comments funny. Oh, because now we're saying stuff you don't like, you're going to try to pull that card.
Mr. Kibb, thanks for the super chat. Love the win against Dallas, but this feels more like a loss with how bad we played. Crazy emotions on this. They didn't play bad the whole game.
Give it a few hours.
They didn't play bad. I mean, they came out in this game and oh my God, they went right down the field, stuffed it into the end zone. And then the defense comes out like a house of fire. Incredible job by them. They did so well for so many portions of this game. It was just the second half where the offense kind of messed it up. Like the defense played great the whole time.
Right. The defense literally just manhandled the Cowboys offense. They out physicaled them, which is, simplifying it. But in the end, that's what they did. They absolutely dominated that line of scrimmage against an all-time great offensive line. Like when we talked to Joe Staley earlier last week about this matchup, that was one of the matchups I brought up, and he said he was excited for it because you have most likely multiple Hall of Famers on that Cowboys defense or offensive line. And the Niners defensive line, even when they lost Nick Bosa, dominated them. Like that to me is the overall storyline. Like that's overall what won this game was the fact that defensive line, even without Nick Bosa, continued to dominate the line of scrimmage. The Cowboys could not get a run game going. And even when Dak passed the ball, he was almost always throwing it under duress. Almost every single one of his passes was under duress.
Yes. And you're right. That's a massive, massive game ball to the defensive line. And maybe we could start to go there. To lose your best player and not get deflated like that, huge credit to the 49ers offensive line. It's a credit to Chris Kasarik, the defensive line coach. They were amazing. They have to be amazing every single week, and they absolutely lived up to the billing. And I'm going to eat a little crow because I'm going to give out a game ball, and I'm going to give it to Robbie Gould. I crushed Robbie Gould all throughout the season. He had some bad play, some bad kicks, but you know what? He came up huge last week, having to fill in as a freaking punter. And he came up huge this week with multiple field goals over 50 yards. He was great last week. He was great today. He's a huge part of this win with how many field goals the 49ers settled for. 3 of 3 on the day, 11 points total on the day for Robbie Gould. He gets a game ball. He stuffed it in my face today, and I have no choice but to admit it.
Well, if I have to pick a game ball, I would like to give it to the whole defensive line. If you're going to make me pick one player, I think Eric Armstead routinely was causing problems from that defensive line. But really, it was the whole defensive line. I don't even think anybody individually had 2 sacks. It was just a whole bunch of basically team sacks where multiple guys were getting through and causing pressure. DJ Jones, I think he had the best single sack. That one where he came through and Dak started to get away and he was able to hang on and get him down. That is the type of back-breaking play that a lot of times Dak makes. He escapes pressure from up the middle, gets outside and makes a deep ball throw to Amari Cooper or CeeDee Lamb or somebody like that and basically flips it from a huge loss to a massive gain where they gain all this momentum. But instead, DJ Jones got him down. And that's another part of what I think the defensive line did well.
Yep.
Like Dak did not get scrambles in this game. He did not get away from that defense.
Well, he got one scramble.
Well, yes. A design scramble, and
right.
absolutely nobody thinks they should be doing it.
I want to get to the super chat, but I have a point about that. Andrew Marquez, stop John Taylor Sr. This will be another win given to Jimmy Whatevs onto Lambeau and Rodgers in the last game in green. Sweet, sweet revenge. Let's not skip ahead here. Let's not get cocky. But that 3-play sequence you talk about was an absolutely amazing turnaround for the 49ers. It led to their only touchdown in the second half. So you get the sack from Jones. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble finding it now. Where the heck is it? Here it is. Okay, I apologize. You get the sack, minus 13 yards. The next play is the Dak interception to K'Wan Williams, which was a hell of a catch by K'Wan Williams. And then the play after that is the Deebo Samuel touchdown, the Niners' only touchdown in the second half of this game. Like, those 3 plays shifted the entire course of everything. It was massive, massive for the 49ers, and it starts with the defensive line.
And really, you can just talk about the line of scrimmage in general, because the Niners got 5 sacks. The Cowboys didn't get a single sack. Like, the Niners' offensive line did quite well too, especially in pass blocking. Run blocking was a little shaky. A lot of that was, I think, they were trying these pitch plays to get to the outside, and the Cowboys' defensive speed just doesn't work. They're going to chase you down, kind of like how the Niners are on defense with their linebackers. But that offensive line didn't give up a single sack, and I think Jimmy had close to 30 passes. And they ran the ball a lot, and they ended up, I mean, if you count the Deebo rushing, they ran quite well. So really, the Niners just dominated in the trenches on both sides of the ball, and that almost always leads to a victory.
J.R. Fultz on the Niners Nation YouTube page. 3rd and Jauan. You know what? You're right. Jauan Jennings, he is stepping up in a big way. He's becoming a 3rd down target for the Niners. 3 catches for 29 yards. I believe all 3 of those were for first downs. So Jauan Jennings has a clear role in this offense. It's great to see him stepping up. And look, he is, just Joe Staley told us, he's what they wanted Jalen Hurd to be. He is developing. He's physical. He blocks the hell out of people. He has a little swagger to him too. Jauan Jennings is stepping up in a big way. He absolutely deserves the game ball. That's a good call by you, JR.
He's kind of like a mix between Kendrick Bourne and what Jalen Hurd was supposed to be. He's bigger than Kendrick Bourne. He's more physical than Kendrick Bourne, but he also brings that kind of like keeping a light, keeping everybody kind of together. You know how Kendrick Bourne, he was always dancing, kind of making it less. I don't know how to put it, because he wasn't goofing off.
He's just lightening the mood.
Right, lightening the mood, keeping the team from getting too serious, and that's kind of important. And I think he brings that, but he also has this fire to him and this physicality that, Kendrick Bourne's not a small receiver, but it's different with Jennings.
Can I give one more game ball today? And that is to Mike McCarthy, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Absolutely gets a game ball. I want to thank you, Mike McCarthy, for having one of the most undisciplined teams in the entire league. Again, franchise record for the Dallas Cowboys and penalties in this game. In the history of the Cowboys, 14 penalties in the game, some of which were massive. And I got to give a shout out to my guy, RJ Ochoa from the Blog and the Boys podcast network, the Cowboys community here. He tweeted before kickoff. Just want to say before this game kicks off, my friends, Stats and Kyle Posey, have both openly doubted Mike McCarthy as the Dallas Cowboys head coach and are now about to get what they asked for. And as I responded to him before the game kicked off, that's 100% true. And guess what? It's 100% true, because Mike McCarthy absolutely deserves a game ball for some of his crazy bonehead decisions. And if the 49ers were playing any other team in the playoffs with the way they played today, I don't know that they win, but they weren't. They were playing this team with that coach, and we're going to Green Bay.
Can I just say, I just clicked over to Twitter, and top of the list of what's happening right now is Josh Norman is trending because 49er fans take aim at cornerback Josh Norman's defensive coverage. It's like the dude's in special teams and he can't even do it. He's not even disciplined enough for special teams.
He can't be on the field. M. Kib, thanks for the super chat. Where's Ambry Thomas game ball? He's balling. Ambry Thomas, you know what? We didn't say Ambry Thomas's name that much today, and that's a really good thing when you're a corner.
His last 2 games, he's been a lockdown. Just put it that way. His last 2 games, he's been a lockdown, and he's had some big matchups in the last 2 games where he's had to face some of the top receivers in the league, and he's handled it. When he played that first game and everybody was down on him, I thought, hey, he's at least in the right position. I never thought he was going to rebound at this. Like, he's a legit
Yeah.
starting cornerback right now, based on what you've seen. He's really come on. Kind of takes the pressure off of that draft, not contributing anything.
Yep.
We hammered that early in the season. Seems like some of the guys have come around, and Ambry Thomas, very welcome sign, because he fills what would have been a huge hole. Like, do the Niners win if it's still Josh Norman out there?
Hell no.
No.
Hell no. How about this from Mike McCarthy after the game? I thought the officials would let these teams play today. That's for them to answer. Like, dude, you led the league in penalties this year. You can't blame the officials.
Half your penalties were for lining up in the neutral zone.
You ran the ball with 14 seconds left and no timeouts. I don't want to.
I will say
blaming
they had 2 defensive holdings on the linemen. I don't think I've ever seen a defensive holding on linemen, and there were 2 of them, which is just crazy. Which Gregory was constantly pushing the envelope. Like, there's that play where Debo's down, the whistle blows, and then he punches them in the back.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you saw that, but it was like well after the play. It wasn't like a closed fish punch, but it was a legitimate hit to the back for no reason, just swinging his arm. I know Debo stood up and chirped at him for it, but like, their defensive line didn't play with discipline. Gregory was the one that lined up in the neutral zone twice.
Multiple times. Yep. Unbelievable. I just want to say, Kyle Shanahan talking about the 4th down sneak that the Niners screwed up. Quote, I was going to struggle to answer that if we lost. Like, I don't know if he said Jimmy got excited or if Mayoko is just typing this to type it, but it says Jimmy Garoppolo got a little too eager because he saw the opening for the QB sneak. So I don't know if Kyle said that or if Mayoko is adding it, but here's the thing. Jimmy also has said when he sees a wide open receiver like that, he gets excited and misses the throw. Like, you can't have a quarterback that wets himself when good things are about to happen. Like, come on, man. I'm so frustrated by the whole Jimmy thing, but man. Oh, I love this comment. Adrian Millett on the Facebook page. Let's limit Jimmy to 8 attempts next week against Green Bay, just like 2019. Amen. Amen, Adrian. I'll take that.
When is that game? Do we know? Have they decided yet?
What's that?
When the game is?
No, I don't know if it's. I don't know when it is.
I don't know if that's up in the air, and it kind of depends on what networks pick what games. That's probably what determines it, but I'd like to know when the heck the game is.
By the way, I just want to give a shout out really quick. Blanton125 on the YouTube page. Rob, thanks for the bets. I went off this week. No. Do not thank me. I had very little to do with that. I would think you need to thank Michelle Majuk from the Gold Diggers podcast. She hooked you up this week. Unbelievable week from her. She gave you 5 best bets. Deebo Samuel, over 28.5 rushing yards. Bam. He had 72 in this game. Yay. Elijah Mitchell, over 78.5 rushing yards. He had 96. We hit it again. Longest reception for Deebo was 25.5. Ayuk was 21.5. Ayuk hit it. Deebo didn't. So you did lose one of those bets. Ezekiel Elliott, under 51.5 rushing yards. Zeke had 31 rushing yards in the game. And Dalton Schultz, over 41.5 receiving yards. Guess what? Schultz led the Cowboys with 89 yards. We gave you 5 bets. Michelle gave you 5 bets, and she hit on 4 of them. Huge week by Michelle. That's why you need to listen to the Gold Diggers podcast on Fridays.
I had a pretty good week. I only bet come playoff time. I don't know. It's something ingrained in me from being a journalist. Like, I don't bet. I want to, but I just don't let myself go there.
Big J journalist, Levin Black.
Yeah, it's just one of those things I've never been able to break myself of. But in playoffs, I always give myself like $100 and have bet on weird crap and have some fun. And I had a pretty good day. I hit a four-time parlay in the Bucks game.
Nice.
On a bunch of overs, and I bet Gronk's under on yards. And
I bet is over. That killed me.
I will say the one bet that's disappointing. I did a parlay bet that Mitchell would have a touchdown, the Niners would win, and he would have 100 yards.
Yeah, you
96
lost by
yards.
4 yards. I will say, is there any better feeling in the world than your team winning a playoff game and you winning bets on the same day? Like, whether they're on that game or not, like that's a 10 right there.
I'll take a Super Bowl win. I don't really know what that feels like. So,
well, we're on the way. We're on our way, man.
It's possible. I mean, this team, when they show up, I think they go to the Super Bowl. Problem is that they have weeks where they don't show up, and you're just left scratching your head at what are they doing? I don't get it. And you just gotta hope that they can put together 4 straight weeks where they don't have a week like that.
Jason Tillman on the Niners Nation Facebook page. You were right about Wilson. He almost caught a dagger. That's totally true. I was worried that Cedric Wilson would have a big catch in this game because I thought all the attention would go to Cooper and Lamb, and he almost did. Dak scrambled out and threw it downfield, and he missed it by, I mean, it was close.
Dak was off in this game when he was forced to move, he wasn't accurate.
If the 49ers had lost, we would have said your $26 million a year quarterback has to be better than this. Well, guess what?
Right.
Dak got a hell of a lot more than that. Dak got the bag, and he was 23 of 43 for 254 yards with a touchdown and an interception. I mean, if I'm a Cowboys fan, I am livid at Dak Prescott, among many others, but your quarterback has to do better than that, and that's a credit to the 49ers defense. I mean, damn. They didn't have their 2 best players in crunch time, and they still got it done. If you're still screaming at DeMeco Ryans and criticizing DeMeco Ryans, you got to shut up today. Like, you cannot speak today.
And kudos to Stephon Diggs. He can go back to Buffalo now.
Yeah, so he won his playoff game and then flew to Dallas.
I understand why he was there to support his brother, but when I saw that, I was like, get out of here. Like, go away.
So I know that, we're going to have plenty of time to preview the game next week.
It is a game that decides a lineage, I think.
Explain.
Aaron Rodgers. If he loses that game, he will always be the quarterback that could have been the best ever, but only won 1 Super Bowl. And
yeah,
if he wins that game, it's him exercising some of his demons, and I think they are the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl if they win that game. Because he's not beating the Niners in the playoffs. He's got to get, that's kind of like the monkey on his back. The Niners have always beaten him.
So I'll just say this before we get to that. Eddie V on the super chat. Such a great feeling beating the Cowboys. I said before this game that if the Niners somehow go on a Super Bowl run, there is no more satisfying the road than beating the Cowboys and the Packers on the way to the Super Bowl. Like, that would be incredible.
The road to the Super Bowl are Cowboys, Packers, and then it's either going to be the Brady Jimmy game or it's going to be a divisional opponent in the Rams or Cardinals. Like, it is, if the Niners get to the Super Bowl, it means they beat 3 what you would consider rivals. I mean, Bucks, you can say they're not a rival, but that Jimmy Brady thing is
you beat
a rivalry.
Brady. When you beat Brady, like, you can, yeah. So, but if the 49ers play next week against the Packers like they played today, there's no chance. Not only are they not going to win, they might get blown out. Because especially not knowing the status of Bosa and Warner, who, let's be honest.
Well, they did say, I don't know if you caught that. They did say right prior to that final drive, the Bosa was cleared and may get back into the game. So I think Bosa should be good. Yeah.
They literally said Warner. I'm pretty sure they said Warner was looking like he was going to go back. And Bosa had a concussion.
Right. I thought they said Bosa at the end, but maybe it was Warner. That was when I was dealing with all the puke stuff.
I think it was Warner. Understandable. Look, when throw up is out there, you sometimes you lose accuracy here.
It wasn't just throw up; it was literally her laying down and throwing up onto herself everywhere. Yeah, it's the first time she's ever thrown up. So yeah, it was totally like cool.
Michael Halsey, thanks for the super chat. F Dallas, F Rodgers. Yeah, I feel the same way. I appreciate you willing to spend your hard-earned money to say that. And I saw somebody, Chris Maldonado, threw this out there. Cold weather and bad thumb most definitely need to run that ball. I don't want to hear about Jimmy's thumb. Jimmy was not on the injury report before this game. So enough with that. He doesn't get any excuses. I don't want to hear about that. Sit him in front of that damn jet heater they got and let him heat up. But
I did see him kind of grabbing at that hand a couple of times after he got hit. So it seems like he probably is dealing with pain.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oof. If it's a Sunday night game, it is going to be a cold game.
So apparently
I'm looking at the extended forecast,
Yeah.
Sunday, as of now, is a high of 11 and a low of -3.
Oh, man.
So if it's a night game, it means it's going to be pushing that 0 border. It might be a negative game, which I think there's only ever been 1 playoff or maybe 2 playoff games that have actually had negative temps.
So here's something from Tim Kawakami, if you're wondering about scheduling. He just tweeted, here's why it's very likely the 49ers will play the Packers on Saturday. Rams, Arizona play tomorrow night, and the winner can't be asked to play on a Saturday. So
That's
the
true.
winner will play Tampa Bay on Sunday, which leaves Saturday open to Niners Packers, which makes sense.
Well, it's at least going to be a high of 20 on Saturday instead of 11.
Well, geez, it's balmy, right? So let me ask you, Levin, how confident are you in the 49ers going forward? I mean, you saw how they played today. You know they can play much better than this, but they can also obviously play much worse. So what's your level 1 to 10? What's your confidence level going forward?
Same place it's been pretty much all season. It's what I just said. They can beat anybody, and then they can show up and lose to anybody. And it just depends on when they plan to, or not plan, whenever they have that game where they just don't show up and you don't know what's going on. So my confidence level, I'd have to say, is a 5, maybe a 6. Like, I just don't know what team shows up. Like, this team has been so inconsistent with that I'm not going to be super confident. I mean, you're on the road against a team that won 13 games or 14 games. So I don't know. I think anybody saying they're more confident than like a 6, if they're going 7, 8, 9, 10, they're just being a homer. You can't be that confident going on the road
against Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Aaron Freeman, watching on the Niners Nation Facebook page, comment of the night. The 49ers can beat anyone, including themselves. Aaron, you're 1,000 billion% right. You get the comment of the night award. Congratulations. Mr. J, you misspelled my name, but I'll answer it anyway. Do you ever wear 49ers gear when you're watching their game? No, I've not been wearing the 49ers gear because when I wear the gear, they lose. And I was so excited after this game ended. I ran downstairs before I could put my Kittle jersey on. I mean, look,
Liar.
What do you mean liar? Well, I wear the 49ers socks. Yeah.
There you go. That's something.
It's a ritual though. Like I have a thing.
Still something
that's been working.
It's like the least important thing to wear, but it's something.
No, man, don't sleep on socks, man. You can't underestimate a good pair of socks. The older I get, sadly, these are the things that I'm focusing
You're talking to somebody that used to work in like negative 45-degree wind chills. I know the value of socks.
I haven't seen the explanation from Mike McCarthy, and I don't want to end the show without it. By the way, Cowboys fans were throwing garbage at the team as they came off the field. I cannot say this enough. Wow. Do not throw stuff at players. Like, I don't care what happens in a game. There's no reason to do that. So that's weak by Cowboys fans.
That's an embarrassment. Like, you get a home playoff game for the first, how long has it been since they had a home playoff game?
I know they haven't made an NFC championship
and you're
game
going to throw stuff at them because they lost. Like, you just had a 12-win season. Like, I understand being upset, but fans. Sometimes I wish we just always played without fans.
No, I wouldn't say
I
that.
know, but they're just so stupid sometimes.
So, and I just want to say this too. All these people that keep standing for Jimmy Garoppolo, like this goes down as a playoff win for Jimmy Garoppolo. You tell me that he played good today. You tell me that he deserved to win today. And that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to get too negative again. But I'm just throwing that out there.
You see the Schefter tweet earlier today? I think everybody saw that from earlier today.
Oh, what? That the Niners, he increased his trade value and all this garbage?
Like, my God, dude, at least make it not sound like it came straight from the agent.
Yeah.
I tweeted it out. In the last 6 games, he had 8 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. How in the world did he play phenomenally down the stretch?
I don't get it.
He made big drives when they needed him. I will give him that. The problem is they needed those big drives because of how he played in the rest of the game.
I will say that the 49ers are showing a resiliency. I mean, there were multiple points in this game where they could have taken the punch in the gut and folded up shop and went home. And they never do that, man. They never do that. The defense buckled down even at the end of the game, right? The last drive for the Cowboys, they're moving the ball and they're getting out of bounds. They got 40 yards in 3 plays.
Yeah.
They hit Wilson for 9, then they hit Pollard for 10, and then they hit Schultz for 9. Okay, that doesn't add up to 40. Maybe it was 30. I 30 yards. Sorry, they said 40 on the broadcast, but clearly it's 30 there. And they stopped the clock every time. And then, I mean, granted, Dak running up the middle might have.
Then the Niners had a 12th man.
They called timeout. Oh, no, I see.
They had a referee.
They did call a timeout at one point to avoid the 12 man on the field. But I mean, look, the Niners D could have folded, and they didn't. They only allowed 10 points in
Right.
the second half, 17 points in the entire game. When Jimmy throws that pick, man, there was definitely a feeling of like, oh no,
Here
here
it
we go
comes.
again.
Yeah.
And Dallas goes 5 plays, 28 yards, and they stick it in the end zone on the Dak scramble. And you're like, oh no. And then what do the Niners do? 9 plays, 23 yards, punt. So it was a defensive effort that should never be overlooked. One of the best defensive efforts in the Kyle Shanahan era for sure.
I like this little tidbit I'm seeing on Twitter here. Kyle Shanahan said right before his touchdown, Deebo Samuel mouthed to him, "Give me the ball." Love that.
Love it. And look, the Niners won this game because of Deebo Samuel.
Yes.
Period. And the defense, obviously. But offensively, 5 carries for 66 or 5 catches for 66 yards, 10 carries for 72 yards and a touchdown. The guy is a mutant. And I say that in the most respectful way possible. He is a mutant. And where would this team be without him?
Ooh, Juice got slimed. I'm looking at that. He got
Oh, they
slimed
did the
after the game.
Nickelodeon. I couldn't,
Yeah.
I've heard good things about the Nickelodeon broadcast, but like, dude, it's a playoff
I've
game,
watched
man.
it in years past. I was not gonna watch it for a Niners game.
Yeah, I
Which
can't do it.
like I at first was like, oh yeah, Niners got the Nickelodeon game. That's cool. And then I realized I'm not gonna watch it. And I was like, that kind of sucks because I enjoy watching that.
Yeah.
Kind of a fun, interesting thing.
So here we are. Niners get the win. This whole week is going to be about the health of Nick Bosa and Fred Warner, and we won't know. And by the way, don't believe a damn word you hear tonight, tomorrow. Do not believe anything. Here's what you need to do. Just pay attention to the practice report. Subscribe to the Niners Nation Podcast Network. Listen to the 49ers in 5 every single weekday morning. It's a 5-minute podcast I do with all the latest news. The first thing I do in that show is give the practice report every single day, because do not listen to what the 49ers say. Listen to what they do. I don't even care if you listen to the rest of the 5-minute show, but download it and listen to that part of it, because the Niners are notorious for saying, oh, this guy's going to play. He's fine. He's fine. He's fine. And then all of a sudden the guy is out.
And can I say another thing, while we're hoping for a Mike McCarthy response to that QB sneak or QB run call, I was angry and laughing at the same time that Tony Romo was doing everything he could to jinx that Jimmy QB sneak. Jimmy's 25 for 25.
Yeah, that's
2
true.
seconds later, Jimmy's 25 for 25. It's like, I know what you're doing, Romo. You and Nance always talk about these jinxes. They talked about it when
With Gould
hit his first field goal, and then Nance mentioned that he hasn't missed in the playoffs in his career, and he's like, yeah, I see that you learned, and said that after. Romo is throwing everything out there to try to jinx it, which I guess you could say it worked, sort of, but yeah, I was kind of giggling because it's like, you don't actually have an effect on those things, but I think he said it 3 times in about 15 seconds that Jimmy's a perfect 25 for 25.
Yeah, I would like a playoff game not called by a former Cowboys quarterback. Could we get that? Like, no, because it's Romo or it's Buck, right? Buck and Aikman.
Oh,
like,
I got something here. We must have missed it earlier because this is from 18 minutes ago from Ed Werder. Mike McCarthy said the QB draw on final play with 14 seconds remaining is practiced each week, and he was surprised they didn't get another snap. He was told New York review was likely to put more time on the clock.
He doesn't get it. The fact that you put your season in position to be
it gave you
determined
nothing
by whether or not a review happens from New York, like, he doesn't get it. He's a potato. As frustrated as I have been and continue to be with Kyle Shanahan, thank God he is not Mike McCarthy.
I got the perfect analogy. Mike McCarthy is to coaching record what Jimmy Garoppolo is to QB wins record.
Yeah.
He really is.
Man.
He's a guy that got Aaron Rodgers throughout the prime of Aaron Rodgers' career. Like, he has a good head coaching record because he had an all-time great quarterback, and then he went to a Dallas team that's loaded on offense and should have been winning already.
Tweet of the night, Rich Madrid tweeted out, DeMeco Ryans' defense just held the highest scoring NFL offense at 31.2 points a game to 17 points without Nick Bosa in the second half and Warner for the most important part of the game. Don't know if that beats Green Bay, but it's winnable. If not, what a wild season. Love this team, man. I think that's where we should leave it, because I do love this team. I know a lot of you don't think so. I do love this team. It has been an incredible, incredible season, and let's go get them. Let's go get them next week.
I'm all for it. I'm ready to beat Green Bay.
rate, review, and follow the Niners Nation Podcast Network. Now is the perfect time to do so if you haven't done it already. We just had the biggest year in the history of Niners Nation. We crushed our goal of 1 million downloads, went over that by hundreds of thousands of downloads. That is a credit to all of you out there with your support. Levin, it's a credit to you and all of the hosts we have on the Niners Nation Podcast Network, and I am so, so grateful. We promise to continue to earn your time throughout the rest of the postseason. Levin is doing weird hand motions to try and disrupt my clothes.
I was
but it's
doing
not gonna work.
yay! Woo,
You should be a lot happier than that.
And apparently people don't hate listening to you because I think you're the most prominent person on the network. So, I mean, you are on the most shows. You edit and put together every single show. So, apparently the people like you too. So,
well,
congrats.
Thank you. I did have one person unblock me just to tell me to shut the F up. So, there's also that. But nonetheless, I'm going to rewatch the Niners-Packers game film this week. That's going to be fun. Watch Aaron Rodgers make that ridiculous throw at the end of the game. Enjoy it tonight, everybody. Be safe, but enjoy it. Niners get the win, 23-17, and we send the Cowboys season home packing. It doesn't get much better than this, but maybe it will next week. Go Niners.